everybody. Welcome to the final session of the Intelligent Interviewer series. We are on session 4 of this series, and we're going to talk about StandOut. I'm going to do a demo today, a pretty in-depth demo. My name is Heather Rickrell. I work in Career Services as the Assistant Director and as the Career Counselor. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show you how to get to StandOut. The easiest way to get to it is just to go to the campus logins page. You can find it up here. Scroll down, it's towards the bottom, and just go ahead and click on it. And it will ask you to log in. Now, I can't actually use it for this account because I have a dummy account. So I'm going to go ahead. You will use your login credentials, but I am just logged in here as the Career Services account. It takes me to a home page. You can go ahead and do these things if you'd like, but you don't have to. Like, you could record an intro video here. You could upload your resume if you want. There's really no reason to do that unless that's what you want to do. You can put your interests in here and so on and so forth. All of these things are set up, these extra pieces, just so that if we ever have like mentors or employers coming in to do interviews with students, these are things that they might like to see that would help them, like, more effectively work with you. The other thing I will say is that this activity piece over here on the right-hand side, that's just different things that you've been into, so you can click back in and help you find your place a little bit easier. Now you'll also notice that we'll stay here on the right side. You can click open the questions CRFAQ page. It looks like they are working on getting that up and running. The help tab, the help site here is incredibly handy. I've not ever had a problem on StandOut that I couldn't solve by working through this. So you would be considered an interviewee. So use this job seekers and applicants block right here that I'm highlighting in green. Okay. So that's, you're just going to search in, like, how do I make my own practice interview? And it will literally walk you through step by step with screenshots. Okay, so it's really pretty simple to find out how to do things in this software. So the other thing I will say is you have your account over here on the right hand side. If you click on your name, so I'm using just the Career Services account, you can get to the home, you can get to help, you can change your profile, you can see your activity, you can see the site map, and you can log out. That's what's over there. As far as tabs across the top here, you won't see a whole lot in these except for practice, right? So UWS doesn't use the jobs. That's what Handshake is for. And we don't have any advisors or mentors currently working with classes or anything like that. So we don't have those, and then Handshake doesn't have the FAQ, the FAQ page up and running yet. But remember, the Help Center is there for you. So basically for you use the home button just to get you all the way back out if that's what you need to do. But the real bang for the buck here in this tool is this practice button right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. And there are a couple of things to notice here, just for layout of the page. I can type something into this search bar here and click search. So like, for instance, just going to click art, and a practice that is already set up, so this is a practice interview that's already ready to go, comes up. So notice that art, design, and practice are tagged. Okay, so if I go back to that page that we were, I guess I have to take art out of here, and then it goes back to my own page, or the page I was on before. Notice that these are all of the practices that are available. And also please notice that this goes on for several pages. Okay, so there are a lot of them there. So make sure that you're moving through them, and you can see there's a good variety. There's public policy, sales, stats, tourism, just a bunch. And there's also a random questions practice, which is a really great place to start if you are just needing to like get used to interviewing, and great first practice thing to do. So we will go over how to do a practice that's already set up in a second. We'll do that second, but we will look at how to create your own practice. So again, I am in this practice tab right here, and I'm going to click on create your own practice. Now, this is just me setting something up here. I am not sure why the window is not coming up that allows me to do that. I'm gonna hold on here. Okay, I just had to log into a little bit different account because that didn't seem to be working. So we will try this. Create your own practice. So you can see the create your own practice standout is right here. So we will click into that. You select your level of questions. The optional default is all. So you can do easy ones, moderate ones, or challenging ones. Now, this is just all going to depend on your confidence level. So go ahead and choose accordingly. If you're just getting started with interviewing, not very comfortable with it, haven't done any of it before, I would start easy. It's going to help you build your confidence the best. And then when you start feeling more comfortable, you can level up. That's totally fine. So, and then the interview criteria that you can select the like your subject matter. There is also a general one here. Um, but closest you can find to your major, that works. Um, so let's actually do this. Let's say that I want to do easy questions, and I'm going to do general, and I would like just 4 questions to start off with. And then it will say begin practice. And here's what's going to happen. So it'll say the question for you up here. Now I won't be able to do this, excuse me, because it's using the camera for Zoom right now to record this. But when I push play here, this person will ask the question. So they'll say, tell me the funniest thing that ever happened to you. A video screen will pop up here on the right-hand side. And as soon as she is done asking this question, the video will start recording on the right-hand side, and you'll see a timer on it. So typically that gives you, I think it's 2 minutes to answer the question. And if you finish early, you can click a stop that shows up, I think, down in the bottom center, like kind of in this area, if I remember correctly. And then once you finish answering and click the stop button, you click next. Now, if you ramble on and go past the 2 minutes, the video stops. It cuts you off. So you want to make sure that you've got your timing in there to finish in 2 minutes. Now, this isn't going to let me go on because it can't access my video. But what will happen is it'll say next. You'll get a quick processing note because it's processing and saving that video. And then you'll be able to, the cross circle cross thing that you see over the next button right now, that will go away. You can click next, and it gives your next question until you get through all 4. And then once you get through all 4 of those, you will see a page that shows you the analytics. So I'm just going to go into an interview here that I completed a while ago. It's a practice career fair elevator pitch. So I'm the one giving the question, and then I responded to the question. Notice that I can reset it here. I could play what I said, and then it's going to try to, it's the artificial intelligence is going to try to pick up and interpret what I said, and it's adding closed captioning to it in time. So As it processed the video, it tried to add closed captioning so that it was analyzing my clarity, right? So you can see that it looks like I maybe hesitated or wasn't clear here, but normally you'll get a good bar chart. So those are the things you can see. You can click on any of these and it'll take you to that exact word in the video over here. So one of the things I found out when I first did this was I tend to not say career very clear, and it often comes back as like Creole or something like that. So I learned that I needed to enunciate. Now I started to mention it before, but this also picks up on hesitations, things like that. And so you can start to pick up on those things and start noticing those things. And once you do, then it makes it a lot easier to start working on and changing those sorts of things. So when you have answered all of the questions and you get to this screen, I already mentioned that there is a retry video here, so you can just completely reset and go over, start over. But there's another button here too, and that's the share. So if I hit share on this, there are people available that I can share this with. Now, these are all career services people, and they are available to give you feedback on your interviews. Okay. I would tend to stick with the first three here first, and then to me last. I'm doing a lot of presentations and stuff, so I can't get to them as quickly, but we will get you feedback as soon as we can. So what happens is let's say we want to send this to Ashley and then click done, and she will get that. Now, if you want to share the link, email the link to us or to career services, you can do that too. And that's how it gets back to us. Now, if we go back to practices here, I just wanted to point out that the practices that you've completed will show with a green check here. Okay, so that's an important thing. Let me go into one other interview here to show you. If you click on the more details, this is what it looks like when you click into a practice. So it'll tell you sort of like what is the title, I guess, of the practice, how many minutes they think it's going to take, how many questions there are, and how many retries you have. So you can retry this as many times as you want. Information about the interview is here. So it talks a little bit about sort of the areas. This is a interview that I actually set up for a student who was interviewing actually for one of these jobs. So we can also help you develop interviews for you to take too. So I did talk about, they want to learn how the candidate thinks and processes through situations and scenarios, how they apply ethics in the law, and whether or not the candidate can manage emotions and the emotions of others, how long it will take, and how many questions to answer, and the tags. And then you go into begin practice, and this is going to look pretty much exactly like what you were seeing in the other practice. Only this time you can't see the questions. So for this interview, the question is turned off, and you have to listen in order to get to the question. So I can always click that exit. I didn't see it up there, but there was an exit key. I'll go back in and show you. There was an exit button here that just exits you from the practice. So again, really quickly, when I come to this practice window, I can create my own practice right here with this green create button. I can go back to practices and I can select any of these practices here and do those. And again, I can share them with career services people and I can get feedback. I also do want to point out this one is a complete practice, so I did that one. This one was in process, so that can help you try to figure out how to get back into them. And that is pretty much it for StandOut. It's pretty simple, pretty effective software that we have. We're really lucky to have it as a way for you to practice virtually anytime. with pretty simple equipment. Um, so feel free to do tons of practicing. Practicing really does make perfect. It makes it so much more helpful and natural and easier to control your nerves. Just the more you practice, the better off you'll be with interviewing. And the chance to get feedback from career services is a pretty big help as well too. So I want to thank you so much for your time and attention with the Intelligent Interviewer series. That's the end of the series, and I'm so glad you joined us. Take good care out there.